Need some coins to that God Squad you've always wanted? Check out mudpacks.com where you guys can open up exciting packs, win tons of mud coins, and withdraw the coins to your account. Use code ZERK for 15% off.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
Game Changers Part 2 just dropped today, which means you guys can now get a free 96 overall Game Changers player, and I'm going to go over the best ones to pick. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Anthony Doolittle for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid. Make sure you guys are subbed to the channel. Turn notification bell on and comment down below. Noti Gang. Also, guys, my NBA picks for today may be out right now or will be out very shortly. So if you guys want to check out Underdog Fantasy, you can use code ZERK to match first deposit up to $100. And follow me over on Twitter for my NBA picks. Last night, another pretty good night of NBA. Between my dad and I, $300 in W's, so you can keep it rolling. And for those of you guys that don't know how you can actually get a free 96 overall Game Changers player, if you come over to the Game Changers solos with release 2 today, you can see right here at tier 5, 100 stars, you get a 96 overall BND Game Changers fantasy pack where you can choose any 96 overall BND, or you can go with the 290 pluses. But if you're gonna go with the 96 overall BND, I'm gonna talk about the best ones to pick. All right, so let's get into this. Keep in mind, guys, that you can choose between release 1 or release 2 players, so there are quite a few options for a free 96 overall. Also, for some reason, mud.gg does not have Ben Jones over there, so I have to showcase him over here. But starting off, Ben Jones. Now, you could have him really ranked anywhere from 1 through 5. The reason why I have him ranked here at number 5, obviously O-linemen are a very, very good pick to take as a BND, is simply because of if you are looking to get a lower overall, and I say lower overall is in not, a 98 overall, very, very expensive center, I don't think you should go with Ben Jones. I think you should go with Ryan Jensen, because obviously Ryan Jensen, you get the motivator chems for your guards. He's really, really good. But if for some reason you don't want to get Ryan Jensen, and just speaking of the Game Changer cards overall, Ben Jones is pretty good. He has 96 pass block, 97 run block, and 96 strength. And in terms of abilities, guys, he has Secure Protector for 1 AP, Identifier for 1, Polar Elite for 1 AP, Nasty Streak for 0, Post Up for 0, and Matador for 0. So, pretty nice. I don't exactly know which ability buckets he gets all of those in, because again, mud.gg hasn't updated as of this very moment, but I would imagine you're able to get probably Secure Protector, maybe Nasty Streak, or Post Up, one of those 2 for 0 AP, and get that stat going. I like that. On to my number 4 pick. I'm going to go with Chidobe Awuzie. Now, obviously with Chidobe, he's 6 feet tall with 96 speed. So, he's not 6'3", 6'4", and he's also not 98 speed. But if you badly need a cornerback, I don't think this is a terrible option. He has 96 speed, 97 excel, 93 agility, 97 zone, 95 man, and 94 press. Also, a little bit of, kind of a hidden stat here, 90 hit power. That's really good. 70 block shed, 78 tackling. If you come down to his abilities here, you can see, unfortunately, that they do not have them updated, but I actually know what they are. And that would be Pick Artist for 0 AP, Deep In Zone KO for 1, Deep Out Zone KO for 1, Flat Zone KO for 1 AP, Short Route KO for 1, and Mid Zone KO for 1 AP. So with Chidobe, depending on what you're going to do, if you are a zone coverage type of person, which I personally am, you definitely want to run Pick Artist for 0, and then depending on where you have him, maybe you have him playing in the flats, you throw flat zone KO, maybe you run a lot of like cover 3 and you have him playing in those deep blues, then you throw deep out zone KO on him. Now my number 3 pick, I'm gonna go with Jack Conklin, and honestly my 2 and 3 kind of interchangeable, and we'll talk about that in a moment here. But Jack Conklin, 94 strength, 96 run block. He also does have 93 pass block, 308 pounds. And when you come down to his abilities, they do show here on mud.gg. You can see all the discounted abilities. Right here is 2 different buckets though. In the first bucket, Nasty Streak for 1, Secure Protector for 1, and Threat Detector for 1 AP. And then he also gets Nasty Streak for 1, Post Up, and Identifier for 0. I personally love having a 0 AP identifier somewhere on that O-line, so you always know exactly who your opponent is using on, because you can really manipulate their user, right? If you know that your running back is on the left side of the field and you have them on a Texas route, let's say, right, which is a man-beating route, but you know your opponent is using on the right middle linebacker, let's say, then you probably have a little bit of time to actually fit that in, beat the man coverage, and then manipulate their user, and then you can kind of mix stuff up. You can run slants and posts to that direction, a whole lot of stuff you can basically do with identifier. So having one out there, to me, I think is essential, and this gives you one. Now in number 2, I'm gonna go with Kyle Hamilton. I feel like this is a really good user card at 6'4". He's also 217 pounds, 96 speed, 94 acceleration, 96 change of direction, 97 jumping, and 91 agility. In terms of like long term between Kyle Hamilton and Jack Conklin, honestly, you could use both these cards for a very long time, which is why I feel like you could go with Hamilton, who is a safety, over going with the offensive lineman because he does have some pretty good speed and just overall has the things you really want in a user with the change of direction, the jumping, the height, all of that. He also has 94 man, 96 zone coverage, 97 hit power, 88 block shed. Do not sleep on this card. If you guys need a user, this is a good one. And in terms of abilities on him, guys, he does get Pick Artist for 0, No Outsiders for 0, Deflator for 0, Deep In and Deep Out Zone KO for 1 AP, and Mid Zone KO for 1 as well. So if you are going to be using him, obviously you want to run Pick Artist, but if for some reason you decide to use the Kyle Hamilton and not user, you can run Pick Artist and maybe like Deep Out or Deep In Zone KO. I prefer Deep Out Zone, but Kyle Hamilton here, great card. And my number 1 pick to choose as a BND is going to be Kadarius Toney. I feel like long term, this is a card you can have on your team for the rest of the year, and that is simply because of one ability we'll talk about here in a moment. But Kadarius Toney, the card itself, is, 5'11". Obviously, you want to have taller receivers, but if you need a receiver, he can get it done. 96 speed, 99 excel. Route running, he has 95 short, 96 deep. Catching traffic of a 96 is very nice there as well. And then after the catch, I mean, he's insane after the catch. 99 change of direction, 98 juke move, 97 spin move, 96 break tackle, 88 carrying as well. So I do just overall kind of like the card. He's still a very solid card, but his abilities are why you want to pick this card up, in my opinion, as a BND. So you guys can see in one of his slots, he gets Route Tech for 1, Red Zone for 1, and Mid and Elite for 1. But in his next one, he gets Short In for 0, Short Out for 0, and Return Man for 0 AP. Now, if you're going to be using him as a wide receiver, then you likely want to go with Short In, right? You maybe throw him in the slot there so you can get those catches. But long term, Return Man is why I feel like this is the best pick, because if you guys don't know what Return Man is, it is a very good ability. I literally spent 600,000 coins on Hines to have him at kick returner. He doesn't play for me. He's just my returner, because Return Man essentially guarantees that you are going to break the first tackle attempt on every single kickoff. So if you do manage to find someone that does not kick to the fullback when you play online, it might, Return Man can most certainly help you get a couple of return TDs. I've already had a couple of return TDs with the Hines, and I've only had the card on my team now for, I think, like a week or so, and he usually gets me a kick return TD every couple of games. So Kadarius Toney, I do feel like having the, after the catch ability, or just having the ball in his hands, the change of direction, the break tackle, 99 excel, 96 speed with the Return Man ability, that's your kick returner and punt returner for the rest of the year, and you're going to guaranteed break the first tackle attempt for the rest of the year. So with that being said, guys, those are the best 96 overall game changer players for you guys to go ahead and pick as BND. You could, of course, just go with the 290 pluses, or if you want to get a player on your team that is really good as BND, let me know down below who you guys are going to pick. If you guys enjoyed this video, check out these.